Oh no, you pissed off about my invisible jacket here on this clearly real island? I'm not changing it, so you better get used to it.
A better you starts today.
I'm also going to obnoxiously chew gum this entire time. You know why? Because I know that you want an answer to this. And you know why I know that you know that I want an answer to this? Well, pretty much just because I looked at how many likes this particular question got. But there was a obviously lovely young man who has just finished university, probably with his little mortarboard hat still on, nice and fresh. Put some cheese on the top because it's it's flat and you can do that. And so he's sitting there, probably eating his little cheese on top of his head. Ooh, what do I do now that I finish university? Hey, that is a pertinent question, especially because it comes close to, you ever heard of this before? Your quarter life crisis. It's a thing. I lived through it. And you know why? Because I had no damn prospects after doing 4 years at university. It's a scam. It's a scam. We all know. Why are we all dancing around the obvious? Where the hell's most of my shoulders? There is no chance in the modern world that university prepares you for it. Unless, of course, yes, caveat, obviously the very skilled subjects of, the history of wicker baskets. Yes, you definitely need a qualification for that. Psychology. Has anyone ever told you to do psychology? Have you ever noticed it's just numbers? It sucks. But, yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Doctors and lawyers. Yeah, well done. Aren't you clever? But for everybody else, well, yeah, I'm sorry if that sounded sarcastic. For everybody else, it doesn't really prepare you for much. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I promise at the end of this, I will get more positive. But let's be honest about it. Most of the time when you finish university, you just realize as you're walking out with your little hat, hey, I've been scammed. And then you walk a little further because you're obviously referring to the fact that the gown costs $1,000 just to get your little photo. Scam! And then you're walking through the rest of the hang on a second, the whole 4 years was a scam. And then you just have to live with the debt for the rest of your life. Just thank God that you're not American. That's the first thing that you do when you leave university. You thank God that you're not American. But the second one is, and I really want you to get this into your head for the first time, right? University, I think, in a lot of times, just pays it's like a dumb tax. It's like a I'm not an adult yet tax. And it's okay, I paid it as well. I'm just as stupid as you are. Probably not as stupid as you. You sound pretty dumb. But, I got rung around. I had to step right up, sir. You too can get an arts degree and get a job in... What was that? You just mumbled off. I said... Well, I'm glad I asked twice. Sign me up for 4 years. And the reason that you get it is because you just have these ideas of like, yeah, I'm just going to find myself when I'm in university. I guess somehow I'll get a gap year in India in there somehow, even though I'll complete my degree at the same time. There's all of these fantasies that you keep going on. I blame American Pie 2. No, 1. I blame American Pie 1. No, 2. Yeah, 2 was in college. Fuck you. That's right. 2. They weren't like, you can't have had sex in middle school. I don't even know if you could make a video about that, frankly. But that's what's happening. You're there for your first 4 years of your life. Your first 4 years of your adult life. And really all you've done is just been like, how would you like to relive like a crapper version of senior high school again where the teachers can't get you in trouble? Because you can beat the teacher up at that point. I think that's the only authority clincher down there. A lot of that happens when you're in university. As I always gave the advice, if you are in university now and you are in one of those bullshit degrees, you take advantage of the library. You make that the saving grace. That's worth the 40 grand in itself. I can tell you from experience right now, me going and choosing to go into the library of the university. And in fact, if you have left university and you still have access to that car, you take it. You take advantage of that library. My God, it's so hard for me to get back into... I want to be back in UNSW library so hard. Every time I just walk in there, yes, I am a freshman. It doesn't work. I never get the damn card. And also it's because I have some overstanding fees from 2012. But look, you take advantage of the books because there is knowledge in those books that you cannot find in the outside world. I've tried. There are not better libraries than there are in major universities. So that's the first thing that you should tick off immediately. If you were roped into the university scam, make sure that it's not a scam. Because Actually, at the end of the day, it is one of those things where they're like, no, don't you see? The whole thing was about self-education. And that is very, very true. If you have one of those bullshit degrees where they don't force you to read a bunch of stuff like law, if you can just sit there and you can just study whatever you want, and there's every book available, books that just are not available in the real world, really rare books, absolute gems. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm earning more than a lawyer with my stupid, dumb politics degree because I didn't study politics at all, and I just studied what I wanted to study in that library. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I want you to adopt this belief. I want you to write this belief down. For the rest of your life, you are in university. For the rest of your life, you are in university. You never stop studying. You never stop educating yourself, ever. It doesn't end. I mean, look, if you want to go on a gap year and smoke weed or whatever, you probably have a much more fulfilling, happy life than me. But if you want to make cash, the way that you do that is that you just perpetually upskill. It doesn't end. You just have to keep doing it. Even when you're working, even when you're at your 9-to-5 job, you're reading a book in the meantime so that you can upskill and just be like, hello, Mr. Boss. I can also tap dance now. Good God, make him the deputy chairman. That's what you need to do. Just understand that university never ended. In fact, probably university, like for most of us, was just you being in that goo test tube that aliens just observe you in there and be like, come on, jiggle around a bit. That's just you. You're just in stasis for that time. That's my next piece of advice for you. My third piece of advice to you is, look, if you don't get a job out of university right away, you know what you should take from it? And I know that this sounds bad, but I was like this for years afterwards. I was dirt poor, all throughout university. And then for, I think until like 27, until 27, I didn't make more money than, I think that was the first year where I thought, yeah, okay, I'm a school teacher now, cool. And then the school teachers were like, no, I'm on 80 grand a year. Cramp. But that was the first year that I started to make money. I was very, very poor most of my 20s. But you know what kept me going? You know what really kept me going? I'm not giving up. I'm continuing on with what I feel like. And I know this sounds really spiritual, and I'm sorry because this is just such a... Look, I'm just in that mood because I've just been studying for my next seminar, by the way, which you can sign up for. Wow, see, this is what we call upskilling. Instead of waiting to sell you all the stuff at the end of the video, I do it in the middle of the video, so you at least have to skip past it instead of going, hey, tell me what I want and fuck him. So yeah, anyway, no, you should be going to the next seminar because I'm talking about the shift. I'm talking about those moments, you know, all the people that come up to me and always say, oh, my girlfriend cheated on me. Well, I don't care. No, like, it's tragic. It is really tragic. But the next show that I do is all about those moments in your life. That's why you need to do the ticket thing. You need to come and you need to sit through that seminar because it is about these moments of your life. When you finish university and you feel aimless because the illusion is broken. You are no longer paying to sit there in what is essentially adult daycare. All of a sudden, no, there's no excuses now. You're an adult. That's why you're feeling that. The real illusion is simultaneously at the same time, you're at a daycare. The daycare actually did have the books. It definitely wasn't coming from your scared little Asian tutor going, okay, so what do you think that neoliberalism is? It wasn't from her. It was in the books that she didn't read either. They're all in there. In fact, there is a conspiracy when it comes to universities that I honestly, genuinely believe, which is that they silence out all the good voices and then they just give you these crap cyborgs to slot you into the system if the system so requires you. So that's the next part that you need to understand. I truly do think this is about universities. I'm very conspiratorial about them. I think they are just training you to go into these institutions. And the thing is, that's great for the people that get into the institutions, but for the people that are just left behind, they're just scammed. Like me. Why? Because I was poor. And so I had no family connections. So I wasn't getting some plump job in Canberra out of my... It was just to essentially subsidise them for paying less hex when they could have done it anyway. Cunts. So, anyway, this is all a short form for you to say that, like, look, I know that this is all tying in together now, yeah? When you are out of university, that is when you start experiencing, usually because you're around the 23, 24 mark of your life. And this is just, you take notes if you are younger than this. You will experience a quarter life crisis. It's not the same as a midlife crisis where you think, holy fuck, I can see the Grim Reaper at the end of the road. It's not that feeling. It's the, I can't fool myself anymore that I'm a kid. Everything is up to me now. That is a scary prospect. And I'm telling you right now, for years. You know what actually gets you through it? Listening more to your instinct. I know that this sounds really namby-pamby, but I'm telling you, like, when I look back at my life now and I look at all the weird decisions that led to me talking to you right now and you listening to me, you know, one of the things that was in my head this whole time was this exact moment. And I'll tell you how I got there. There was visualization. Absolutely, there was visualization. You should be sitting there. But the thing is, like, you have certain feelings and intentions of where you want to go in life. And I call it, it's like, there is this weird hippie inner spiritual guidance that does exist. And you can get in tune with it. How do you get in tune with it? The same thing as always. You meditate. You actually ask yourself about it. You sit there, you do your morning notes. That's the only thing that I will add to any of these moments in your life. It's just that, like, look, when it comes to these, I can give you certain guiding points. All of these videos, I can give you certain guiding points, but I cannot tailor this specifically to you. And you know what else? Neither can your mum. And that's the sad realization of your quarter life crisis. Who can is you. And the way that you do it really is you kind of just got to start quizzing your subconscious. But really, honestly, even when I'm speaking about this right now, there is some inner ambition of yours. Ambition's probably the wrong, like yearning. There is an inner yearning of yours that you're kind of silencing and just now, because you're conditioned for, 30 years ago. What do I do now, miss? That's what's happening. And look, I do it still to this very day. It never goes away. It's just that you start listening to the inner guidance more. So up until now, everything has just been handed to you. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. You've been ignoring the whole time sort of this gut instinct. I know because I was there. It's time for you to develop that. If you have nothing else, if you have no other prospects at the end of university, make your stomach your new tutorial. You gut feeling. I'm just talking about there are certain things that you want to accomplish. And like every time that you sleep at night, there's kind of like a sadness that you're not even there, that you're not doing that. You need to move towards that. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. And I'll see you next time. Make sure that you come to my seminar. I think there's some tickets left maybe. And also, just as a little quiz again, hey, if you've got any social media stories, we would love to do a react to those, because the more that I go through this, the more I realize you are very sick people. And the other, and you need me to make fun of you. That's it. And then the third thing obviously is you should sign up to Jordan Shanks, because if you sign up to Jordan Shanks, you get 3 more of these videos a week. Up to 3 more videos of these a week, just depending on how much of a cheapskate you are. And all of them are filled with very good advice. Like this one was. This one was amazing. And if you don't, look, you're just not spiritual enough to get it if you don't get it. Makes sense.